Joining a gym or signing up for a streaming service, it's easy, right? But once you are in, it can seem like a major headache to try to get out. A click-to-cancel rule, which would have required businesses to make it easy for people to cancel unwanted subscriptions and memberships, is now being blocked by a federal appeals court just days before it was set to go into effect.
We want to bring in Chief Legal Analyst Conley Rhodes to break this down. So it seems like the FTC just had not a minor, but a pretty big oopsie because they didn't do their preliminary regulatory analysis. Is that all that really stood in the way from this becoming in effect and not?
Yes and no. Let me say this. When you're trying to find ways to cancel things or stop things, cancel things, I guess pun intended, but stop things from being, you have to make sure that you jump over all the hoops. And so this is one where folks weren't ready to implement this on the business side. There was pushback when the Biden administration was attempting to roll this out. It was part of this time is money initiative. The click-to-cancel rule was packed into there. I mean, time is money. If I got to waste time to figure out how to cancel something that I no longer want, if I got to jump over a number of hurdles that all I had to do to get it was click here, but to cancel it, I got to read 5 books, mail in 20 stamps, and then turn around backwards, and then they may cancel it. I think that's the problem that they were trying to avoid. And so everyone was on board with it except for the companies that would have had to be in compliance with this. And so there was that pushback. That pushback, I believe, is what slowed this down. Because when you talk about the preliminary analysis, it had to be things that had a $100 million impact or more. They're saying we thought in our assessment that it would be less than $100 million. They're coming back and saying, it's probably going to be more than $100 million. I think that's where the fine line was. That if I want something to slow down or pause, the details right here was where this administrative law judge says our assessment is different than yours. Go back and make sure you do that preliminary analysis. But I don't think this stops it. It just slows it down.
I mean, I want it to be easier just like the next person. I mean, do you think the FCC, if they fix their things, can they come back, try to do this again? I mean, or will we see these businesses keep using sneaky tactics, hoping that we don't pay attention and forget?
I mean, that's part of the process. I mean, we were talking about this earlier today with these gym memberships. Folks have these lower cost memberships where they or any type of subscription where their anticipation is that you forget that you subscribe to it. So there's twofold. I forgot that I subscribed, or the process to cancel so hard that I don't have enough time to waste. Back to the title, and time is money. So they recognize that the economy is tight, that people are already stretched. How can I find ways to save them some money, some energy? Okay, we do this to make it a streamlined process. In terms of the pushback is going to be for the folks that don't want to implement that, because that goes to their bottom line. And so the behind the scenes portion is not just on the business side, but it's also in Congress, in the places, in these agencies where the rulemaking process occurs. And so when they're saying, hey, they got to go back and do this analysis, that buys us more time, 6 months, a year, to implement the things that they are asking us to do, which is going to cost us to create it, and it's going to cost us because we're losing this kind of unintended revenue that's generated without people thinking about it because you just forgot.
Well, right. That happens to a lot of us, right? We're all busy. Is there an argument from a business side, though, that's like, hey, this is all printed out in a contract. You know what it takes to either leave the membership. I'm thinking gym specifically, that there's a penalty, or, hey, it's going to be easy, or you're going to be able to do it, but there's some caveats here. Is that an argument for them to say it's in black and white here? You just have to follow it.
It's an argument, but I think obviously this rulemaking process, the FTC controls that. I mean, they are ensuring that these folks have to play by the rules that they set, i.e. that's why they have a rule-making process. During the opening comment sections where you'll have that feedback to saying this will hurt our business, or this is something that they knew or should have known about. I mean, but I know for me, I always see it and remember that I have something to cancel when it hits my bill. I'm like, wow, those are those 4 things I needed to cancel. Then I forget about it and go about life. So that one click to cancel is something that would be extremely beneficial, but hurtful to companies at the same time. While I don't think they are advertising the manner and how they need to cancel, like, okay, when you're signing up, if you want to cancel, it's probably in there somewhere, but you got to dig through 20 million pages to figure it out. In the process, it's different. One of the things in this click to cancel is it was a requirement that you had to go the same way you got onto this application or whatever you joined was the same way you would have to cancel. So it couldn't be a different method. I think that was probably the most beneficial portion. If I did one thing to get there, I should only be able to have to do one thing to remove it. Not call 50 folks. Sometimes they say, well, if you call here, you can still, keep it longer if you stay for 3 more months. Any of those type of like selling you to stay within it, they were also trying to get rid of, because if you've made that decision to want to cancel, you just want to get rid of it. I think that's going to be something that will continue to follow. I know we say that all the time. I'm watching this one closely because I need that to come back so I can figure out how to cancel a number of things I've been trying to get rid of.
There we go. Our chief legal analyst, Conley Rhodes, will have him back in our next half hour.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.